Welcome to this video on the frozen middle, why transformations stall. We will take a deep dive into the hidden bottleneck that derails most organizational transformations and what leaders can do to address it. This program is brought to you by the Series of Thoughts team as part of the Business Transformation Series. Chapter 1. The Promise of Transformation. Organizations invest billions in bold visions of change, but there is a significant gap between strategy and execution that few discuss. The transformation imperative is clear. Digital transformation, AI adoption, and strategic overhauls are no longer optional. They are critical for survival in a rapidly shifting competitive landscape. Failure to adapt risks obsolescence. The conventional approach relies on C-suite setting the vision and frontline workers executing. The breakdown occurs in the middle, the critical layer being ignored. Executives define the strategy, while frontline workers adapt to new tools and workflows. The stark reality is that 7 out of 8 transformations fail. Fewer than 1 in 8 yield lasting results, costing an estimated $900 billion annually. This represents squandered potential and eroded trust. Most transformations begin with energy and early wins, but quickly hit an invisible wall, stalling below goals. This widening gap between ambition and reality is known as the plateau of stalled progress. Chapter 2. The bottleneck revealed. The source of stalled progress is neither the strategy nor the front line. It's the critical layer in between the top and the bottom. The frozen middle refers to middle management. This critical layer creates an invisible bottleneck by absorbing pressure from both sides without the power to act, even as C-suites push strategy and frontline workers adopt new tools. An AI adoption gap exists between executives and middle managers, indicating a capability and confidence problem. When those scaling AI adoption aren't using it themselves, the transformation pipeline narrows at the middle. In AI transformation, 70 to 85% of Gen AI deployments fail to meet ROI targets. This failure is linked to the disparity in engagement. 75% of C-suite is engaged, compared to only 33% of middle management. This is where ROI goes to die. A Fortune 500 manufacturing case study provides a cautionary tale. An ambitious AI transformation stalled at just 12% productivity gains after 9 months, far below the projected 40%. The culprits were middle managers who felt underprepared and threatened. The middle management squeeze illustrates the problem. Strategy and investment flow from the top, but the under-equipped and overpressured middle management channel allows only a fraction to reach meaningful execution. Chapter 3. The root causes of the freeze. Understanding why middle managers stall is the first and most important step toward breaking this pattern and achieving successful transformation. The resistance paradox is not about resistance, but a rational response. Middle managers face conflicting mandates, pressure to maintain performance, and accountability without authority. Inaction becomes the safest choice when support is low. The capability squeeze occurs when middle managers are asked to simultaneously maintain excellence and lead transformation, often without the necessary training, coaching, or time. They lack the meta skills to navigate both worlds effectively. Middle managers face too little autonomy and too many silos. They have accountability without authority, leading to fragmented collaboration across siloed functions. This creates a lack of connective tissue, causing the broader transformation to lose coherence. The risk aversion trap means safety beats progress. In high-stakes environments, experimentation threatens careers. Managers prioritize job preservation over innovation, making risk aversion a predictable response to systems that punish failure. Navigating internal politics involves the relevance loop, where managers expend energy justifying their roles. They also deal with invisible complexity in organizational dynamics, an unsupported burden without adequate coaching to navigate political landscapes, diverting energy from transformation. The path to progress is blocked. Every root cause, capability gaps, lack of autonomy, silos, risk aversion, and political complexity, converges in the middle, forming a structural barrier that executive enthusiasm cannot overcome. Chapter 4. Unfreezing the middle. Empowerment is the essential mechanism that unlocks organizational transformation at scale. Middle managers are not failing due to individual shortcomings. Their ecosystem is set up for stasis. Leaders must redesign that ecosystem. 4 key actions drive this transformation. Scan the environment, foster psychological safety, grant autonomy and authority, and break down silos. The first step is to scan the environment, moving from autopilot to awareness. Managers need space to pause and reflect on organizational culture, shifting from automatic reactive behaviors to conscious, proactive ones. Next, foster psychological safety and clarity. Give permission to experiment and visibly reward it. Define clear transformation mandates and demonstrate visible leadership backing to absorb the organizational risk. The third action is to grant autonomy and authority. Close the authority gap by matching decision-making power to responsibility. Accountability without autonomy creates paralysis. Balance is key to empowering managers. Finally, break down silos by fostering cross-functional collaboration. This requires shared goals, cross-functional teams, joint decisions, and collective metrics, providing the necessary connective tissue for transformation. Collaboration ignites innovation. When middle managers have the right environment and tools to collaborate across functions, the transformation gains the stability it needs to connect vision with frontline reality. The unfrozen middle leads to success. Organizations empowering middle managers see 3 times faster AI adoption and an 85% higher success rate in transformations. Investing in the middle is the highest leverage intervention for serious organizational change. Chapter 5: The Future of Transformation. The organizations that will succeed are those that treat middle managers not as an obstacle, but as the primary engine for change. Middle managers are the true drivers of transformation, the active connective tissue. They translate vision into action and bridge culture and capability, making their empowerment the critical determinant of transformation success. The call to action is to invest in your middle. Recognize the barrier as structural, empower and equip managers with autonomy and safety, and unlock the potential to achieve sustained, measurable transformation results.